Hi everyone, it's Lauren. For those of you who don't know me, I'm from the Kinette Club of Laklabish. I have been in kin for 5 years. I've been asked to come and make a video talking about the role of Deputy Governor. Now, when I became a Deputy Governor, I had only been in kin for about 3 years, so I didn't really know a lot, but I took it as an opportunity to learn a ton more. I wanted something new to try. I wanted to see if I could gain confidence in myself and honestly just learn more, make new relationships, meet new people. And yeah, I was super nervous. Of course I was. It's a very overwhelming to think about to just jump right into this role because as a deputy governor, you oversee all the clubs in your zone. Now, what does that mean? To oversee all the clubs in your zone, you need to make sure they get all of their paperwork in on time. You need to make sure that they have all of the resources that they need. You are support if there's any conflict in a club or between clubs or anything like that. It's your job to connect clubs together and to just be there. You're also a kind of a connection between the clubs and district team. When I first took on the role, my goal was to just be present. I just wanted to be present in my zone and connect clubs together and make those relationships. So I started with phone calls. I started calling the presidents of all of the clubs in my zone and just told them who I was, told them what I wanted to do, and all of that kind of stuff. Now, they were very welcoming. Everyone is super welcoming, and I'm very thankful for that because it made my job a million times easier. Now, you are busy September, October, you have to travel to all of the different clubs and install the executives. Majority of the time, I did both the Kinette and Kinsman together. We just brought everyone together to one meeting and installed the executive like that. So you have to travel to all the different clubs. That's September, October. You need to get that done. A lot of stuff can be done over email, through phone calls. Now, it's important to go to events for clubs if you want to and if you can. Your first step before you accept the role is to talk to your family. You need to make sure your family supports everything that you're doing. For me, I had a daughter at home, so I needed to make sure I had childcare, and my husband was okay with it, with me going. And he was, so make sure you have that support system at home. If that also made it a lot easier. So I just wanted to be present and connect people. Now, we do so much work, so much amazing work in District 4, and we don't give ourselves enough credit for it. And that was definitely the case in my zone. So I started by joining all of the Facebook pages of my clubs. And then when they would share something great that they did, I shared it to District 4 kin and said, look at the amazing work these guys are doing. And when they got all of that positive feedback, I think it really gave them the confidence to want to share. So about halfway through the year, I stopped sharing. And instead I would comment on their post and say, please share this to D4. They'd want to know what you're doing. And then once they did, it gave them the confidence to want to talk about themselves and the amazing work they're doing. And in turn, it connected them to each other. And now I've created relationships between clubs like Smoky Lake and Laklabish that weren't there before. And now we go to each other's events, and same with Fort McMurray. I've created connections and relationships between all of these clubs that weren't there before. And now because of that, we have this web of support. And I'm glad I did it. Now you also have to do a Spring Zone conference in March. It's a one day sort of conference thing. You have to run it, you bring education to it, and you have to organize it and run it. I was terrified. I didn't sleep the night before. Driving there, I was terrified that I was going to do a bad job. But you know what? I went there and I did it and I rocked it. And back then, I probably wouldn't have been able to say how amazing of a job I did. But looking back, I'm like, I rocked it. And I couldn't have done it without all of the support I had. And I think my biggest tool and asset was respecting the people that came before me as deputy governor and turning to those people. I would call them up and say, this is what's going on. What do I do? And they would help me, and just respecting those that came before me, and also leaning on your district team. Now you go into district team and it really is a team. You are a team of people, And chances are you're not going to know all the answers. And that's what they're for. That's what they're there for. Did I have some struggles? Absolutely. Sometimes clubs didn't agree with what I was doing, or there was conflict in the clubs that they needed help with, and I didn't know how to help them. So that's when I go to the club support director and say, listen, this is the issue. I don't know what to do. Please help me. And it's really just about being humble and admitting to yourself that you can't solve all the problems on your own and that you need to lean on other people. You're not alone. If you're thinking about taking this role, you're not alone. You have this whole web of support behind you, not only in your team, but from the people who have come before you. Lean on them. And you also should go to FLC. You should go to district convention. And those are just more opportunities to learn new things about kin. Now, I learned more about kin in the 1 year as deputy governor than I would have ever if I would have stayed inside my club. I also learned more about myself and what I was capable of. And turns out I am capable of a lot more than I give myself credit for. And it made me gain confidence in myself. It made me create relationships with people. And I was honestly just so blessed to have a great year and a great team and a great, like the people in my clubs were so amazing as well. They were very supportive. They were very welcoming every time you come in. Like I said, I struggled. It was overwhelming at times. But if you utilize the tools around you and that are there for you, it's so much easier to do your job that way. I won Outstanding Deputy Governor. It's such an honor to say that I have won that and have people come to me and know they know who I am. And that's just the best thing about kin is now I walk into a room and all of these people are excited to see me. And not only does that make your heart happy, but it gives you confidence in yourself that you're just good. And that's the best thing about it is you meet so many people, you make so many connections, you learn so much, and you just realize so much about yourself. I hope I helped you. If you're thinking about the role of deputy governor, come talk to me. Go talk to somebody who's done it before. But just dive right in because it can just be so rewarding.